Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're looking into a really tragic event, that multi-vehicle collision at the SCTEX toll plaza, May 1st, 2025.
Yeah, it was devastating. Our source is this detailed incident report, written in Tagalog, actually.
Right, and our mission here is to sort of unpack what happened, the sequence, the cause, the human impact, and how officials responded right away.
Okay, so the report gives us a pretty clear timeline. It happened around 12:18 p.m., May 1st, that's Labor Day.
Important detail, holiday traffic.
Exactly. Northbound SCTEX, right at the Tarlac City toll plaza. Barangay Bantug specifically.
In a sequence, the report lays it out pretty starkly.
It does. A solid north bus, apparently moving fast, approached traffic that was already stopped in lane 2.
Stopped at the toll plaza, presumably.
Presumably, and it slammed into the back of a Nissan Irvine.
Uh-huh.
That first impact set off a chain reaction. It involved a Kia Sonet, then a big trailer truck, and also a Toyota Veloz.
Just bam, bam, bam.
Pretty much. And the force on that Nissan Irvine was, well, immense. It was a 15-foot van, compressed down to just 3 feet. Unbelievable.
Passengers on the bus even said they felt like a sudden impact. The bus maybe moved back slightly, then thrown forward again. Just chaos.
And the vehicles involved really tell a story. That solid north bus seems it's operated under Dagupan Busco or JC Liner Group, maybe related companies.
Okay.
It hit the Nissan Irvine, which was carrying a group from Antipolo City. They were heading to a religious youth camp up in Pangasinan.
Oh, man.
Then there was the Kia Sonet. A couple engineers heading to Baguio. They had their 2-year-old child with them.
We'll come back to that detail.
Yes. And ahead of the Kia was a trailer truck, kind of an unmovable object in the situation. And then the Toyota Veloz caught up in it too.
So the big question, why did this happen? What's the reported cause?
The report points pretty directly to driver fatigue. The bus driver, named Teodoro Mergen, he reportedly admitted to falling asleep at the wheel.
Fell asleep while driving a bus full of people.
Yeah. They were en route from Cubao, down in Metro Manila, heading up to Pangasinan.
It immediately makes you think about, the bigger picture. Working hours for these commercial drivers, rest periods, scheduling pressures.
Absolutely. It's a huge issue in the transport industry.
And the human cost.
Yeah.
It's just staggering. There were some conflicting reports initially, weren't there?
There were, yeah, numbers flying around. But the official confirmation settled on 10 fatalities.
10 people.
Including 4 children and 37 injured.
The breakdown is horrific, the Nissan Irvine.
That was the worst hit. 8 out of the 9 people inside died. 4 children, 4 adults. Just the driver survived.
Just the driver.
And in the Kia Sonet, the engineers, both adults, tragically died.
But their child.
The 2-year-old survived. Minor injuries, was secured in a car seat.
Wow. That really underscores the importance.
Doesn't it just a tiny bit of hope in all this tragedy? And on the bus itself, 35 people injured. Mostly minor cuts and bruises, but 3 were hospitalized for concussions.
Identifying victims must have been incredibly difficult, especially from the van.
Extremely, given how compressed it was. A grim task for the responders.
Speaking of responders, it sounds like a major effort kicked in quickly.
Oh yeah, coordinated response. Philippine Red Cross, the local PDR RMO, that's the Disaster Risk Management Office, Tarlac Police, the provincial hospital, all hands on deck.
But getting people out, especially from the Irvine, was tough.
Very tough, took time. And of course, the whole incident caused massive traffic delays on the SCTEX. They had to set up counterflow lanes just to keep things moving at all.
So accountability, what's happening on the legal front?
Well, they're preparing criminal cases against the bus driver. Reckless imprudence resulting in multiple homicide, physical injuries, damage to property. The usual charges in these situations.
Basically negligence causing death and harm.
Exactly. And the victims' families, as you'd expect, are demanding accountability. There's the police investigation, of course, but also a parallel audit.
By who?
The DOTR, Department of Transportation, and the LTFRB, that's the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board. They're looking into Solid North's operations.
Okay, the regulatory side. What did the LTFRB do immediately?
They acted fast, issued an immediate 30-day preventative suspension order.
For the whole company?
No, for 15 specific units belonging to Solid North, or maybe Dagupan Buscom, operating on that Cubao-Lingayen route.
Gotcha. And what does Solid North need to do to get those buses back on the road?
There's a list of conditions. Mandatory drug tests for all their drivers and conductors on that route, road safety seminar for the drivers, roadworthiness inspections for the buses.
Makes sense.
They also need to submit video proof they've complied, like footage from the seminars or inspections, and physically surrender the license plates of those 15 suspended buses.
Pretty thorough. What about help for the victims?
The LTFRB also ordered PMI, that's the Passenger Accident Management and Insurance Agency, to step up and help the victims with insurance claims. There are set amounts, I think P400,000 for a death, up to P200,000 for injury.
Okay, so some financial support is mandated.
Right. It doesn't undo the tragedy, but it's crucial assistance.
So pulling it all together, this whole deep dive, it really throws several critical issues into sharp relief, doesn't it?
It really does. Driver fatigue, obviously. Toll plaza safety procedures, maybe. The absolute necessity of child safety seats that one survivor is proof.
And the role of regulatory oversight, making sure these transport companies are operating safely.
Exactly. It's a complex web of factors.
It leaves you thinking, though, looking at everything that happened here, the fatigue, the crash dynamics, the response. What systemic changes, what big changes do you think would actually make the most difference in preventing this kind of awful event in the future? Something to really chew on. Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.